Recovery is a Process of Decisions podcast. This podcast is a weekly revealing of the recovery journey of peer support specialist Trent Thomas. Join him on his internal research-driven dive into what to and what not to do in sustaining recovery. His weekly episodes demonstrate that you are not alone, and what we can't do alone, we can do together. This life is hills and valleys, but we were built for struggle. These weekly episodes are a journey into his life lessons as he fulfills his daily mandate to help someone other than himself. Welcome. The Recovery is a Process of Decisions podcast. Welcome to the Recovery is a Process of Decisions podcast. This is Trent Thomas, your recovery peer support specialist. Tonight's episode is entitled, When Using is No Longer an Option. The life we live is cluttered with hills and valleys. The fact that we encounter life's many painful dilemmas is to be expected. We all grow old, if so blessed. We suffer accidents, not just for ourselves, but also for those we care about and love. We experience sickness and poor health for ourselves and those we come in contact with. We live on a glass plane that is liable to shatter and break at any moment. Most of life's situations are beyond our control, and we lack the power to cause these situations to abate or change course. We have very little control over the why and how life situations present themselves. We are not God. What we do possess is the ability and the right to respond or react to these life moratoriums. We absolutely can and should deal with life situations in their entirety. We should feel the sadness, pain, exhilaration, confusion, loss. We should and must feel everything. Feel it, process it, and then move on. This is life on life's terms. It is my absolute faith in God that propels me headfirst into the windstorm of life. It is this unshakable faith that carries and delivers me steadfastly through this blinding sandstorm. A sandstorm where often we lose sight of our present and dislocate it from our past. No guiding factors, no anchors, no handrails, no directions, no vision. Situations where we can't see or hear a signal for guidance. Situations where we must travel on blind faith. Faith in an unseen God, a God who our only guidance is that he has been there before. A hand for grabbing out of sheer faith. Faith that this hand has gripped us in the past and served as our only staying power. A power of an unseen God that has delivered us from similar sandstorms. A hand that we have learned to trust. A guiding factor that has demonstrated its unique ability to hold us up in the worst of times. A hand of sanctuary that did not let us go, but rather gripped us tight in another windstorm and saw us through disruption and dismay. A firm hand in a whirlwind of destruction and dismay. Yet, through it all, this hand never let us go, but rather pulled us up and out of this prior windy ordeal. a hand that we now trust to deliver us again in all future gravity-shaking, windy onslaughts of life. No matter how windy and blinding the storm presents itself, the hand steadfastly reappears and reaches out for us to grab a hold on to. A hand that delivers, a hand we can count on, a hand that won't let us down. No matter the strength of the wind, no matter how much light the storm blacks out, this hand holds steady and never lets us go. We need not hide or run from the storm, because this hand from an unseen God always appears and always grabs us tight and never lets us go. So resolute is my faith in this hand that hiding or attempting to escape from life's presentation is not even an option. What used to be my go-to response of finding a drink or a drug is not even a wayward thought in my mind. My approach to handling life's dilemma is to accept the situation and instantly realize I am powerless over controlling the action or the actors, and that my response must be a well thought through scenario, a plan of action where I play my part, aware of my reaction has effects on those around me and the community at large. What I do or say can and will have long-lasting effect on others. What I think, do, or say is important. I must display dignity in all my actions. Dignity is defined as being worthy of honor and respect. I choose to be honorable in all my affairs. Therefore, I think before I respond. If I don't know what to say, I say nothing at all. Words have power. To get the desired results, we must say the right words at the right time, thinking first and planning accordingly. Behaving in a dignified manner requires due diligence in maintaining self-control, measured patience, and above all else, faith. Faith in the God of my understanding. Faith is the belief that with God everything is already all right. Belief that God is in charge. It's His play, under His direction, and that we are with Him willing or unwilling participants in His production we call life. For me, using is no longer an option. Running or hiding from my problems, my feelings, is no longer an option. Today I feel what I need to feel, all of it. I process it, then I move on. This is living life on life's terms. This is recovery. This is Trent Thomas on another episode of Recovery is a Process of Decisions podcast. You can now subscribe to this podcast and receive special in-depth episodes for subscribers only, as well as a private personal email account to communicate directly with me for comments and show suggestions. In addition, I will be doing podcast shout-outs to all those subscribers who request shout-outs. As always, your inspiring comments can be left at transnetrecover.com/podcast. Please feel free to follow me on Facebook and Instagram. #TransnetRecover. Thank you and have a blessed day.